Rae Ann, I know this is kind of where you spend a lot of your life. Any lessons that we can take from this, that process of trying to extend ITSM concept to the larger enterprise?
Yeah, so I was going to bring up a slide and be cool like Nate, but I'll just leave that for class. Come to class. But anyway, I got a few things. I think when you talk about these coalitions, I think what I see in the industry, and then I will tie it back to ITSM, but what I see is that at the company, like HR thinks they own anything about the employees, right? I'm going to do an employee sat survey and then I'm going to dole out some tasks and we're doing employee experience. And you used it at the beginning where you said that a lot of companies will just use some buzzwords. So the CEO says, hey, we're going to be focusing on customer experience. And they change their mission statement and they put customer experience and all these different things. And now we think we're doing customer experience. And then what IT often does is we think we're doing experience, but we're trying to do user experience. And what we're really focusing on is how do you like our technology and how easy is it to use? So I think, first of all, experience doesn't belong to any one of those individual areas, right? It is a company initiative. And it is, HR needs a partner equally with IT because honestly, think about the employees today. What doesn't touch IT or what does IT not touch, right? It's just such a huge part of it. So it's not a matter of giving IT tasks. It's a matter of partnering and then of course just understanding what it is. So when you talk about, like where does this live in an organization? We actually say that as you mature this and as you transform the culture, then you'll have an experience management office and they own experience management and they're representing all aspects of your business and it doesn't sit in IT. And I will honestly say, I mean, I commend IT for wanting to focus on experience. And a lot of times they're trying to kickstart and do this experience initiative, but it can't be done in a vacuum and it can't be done only with IT. And the idea of experience level agreements, it's hand in hand. It's not one or the other. It's still okay, if you want to be more productive at work, and these are the questions we're asking, we're not doing that tied to transactions. We're just doing that on an ongoing basis. And then, hey, we're still measuring what we're doing in SLAs, but we should see some kind of a correlation. If what we've learned from this is that we're making some things more difficult, the customer effort is higher, it's taking longer, let's fix what we're doing in IT, let's make that work better, we should see a correlation where we're, first of all, that our SLAs aren't numbers that we make up. And I don't mean that in a, that sounded really bad. They're not numbers for the sake of numbers. They're numbers that matter, that really do impact what's important to the employees in your organization. So it doesn't, you're not changing from ITSM to experience. You're transforming the culture, just like you all said, and you're making this, these coalitions are across the organization, and you figure out what matters and how to measure what matters. And if you're not familiar with watermelon metrics, it's that we have all these targets, especially like service level targets. We're hitting them, but people are complaining. People are escalating. They're complaining. They're not happy. So it's red on the inside. It's not really working all that well. So we're trying to get to what we say a kiwi, which I still challenge that. I think an avocado might be better, but green on the outside, green on the inside, right? We're doing the right things. We're measuring the right things. We're making a better experience. So sorry again for that long answer,
Mm.
Tim.
No, no, I love long answers. I did my senior thesis on William Faulkner, so longer the sentence, the more apostrophes and semicolons, the better. Uh, I'm gonna,
Wrong.
so, Rand, I'm going to stay with you on this, and I think that you were leading towards this, and it's critical, right? If I'm somebody who's just being asked to participate in one of these initiatives, efforts, transformations, revolutions, I need to have some idea of what does success look like, right? So it's always hard to define when we're at the stage where the concept is fuzzy and it's fluid, and it's critical for organizations and teams to have a concrete idea of what are we trying to accomplish. Right now, we've talked. I mean, that's been a core of this whole conversation. But what are some of the ways that we're going to recognize success when it comes to experience management?
Well, we're going to have defined it from the beginning, right? And I think everything that we've said so far leads up to that, that you just can't do this in a vacuum and you can't just guess. and you can't do it like you've always done it.
Hmm.
Right. So, and I hear that from a lot of people. They might come to, they might come to one of the classes, Essence of Experience or XLA Foundation, and are really excited about it. Or they might start using something like QStack, or like Nate uses pulse surveys, right? They might start doing this and they're getting excited about the results, but it's just so much bigger than that. It is end to end. And we have to understand that the way people feel is about everything, right? And we call these moments over time. And so it's, to be successful, first we've got to be doing the right things, and we've got to make sure that we're not guessing, and I mean, there is a science to this, right? There are ways to do this the right way, and we want to embrace all of that. And as we're changing our culture, and as we're embracing that, and as we're doing it the right way, we've got to have the right people involved. And I think Nate said something, you said a lot of really important things, Nate, but when he shared his story, I think it's a really important point when he said it just kind of went, he didn't say it went by the wayside, but he said we quit focusing on it. This is not a trend.
Hmm.
Exactly what Nate said before, it is not an initiative. It becomes really what your company is, and how you all operate. And
Yeah.
so success is that we get there, right? Success is that we're all passionate about it. Success is that what we're trying to do from an experience perspective is permeating everything, and it's driving the way we all do our jobs, and it's driving what we measure. So I guess that's my 2 cents on that.